Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of BBP News. I'm Nicholas Rod. Chris Baker's here with me, and we're back for another Friday morning episode. Chris, start us off as we always do before we get into anything else with the weather.
In Los Angeles, California, it is sunny 88 with a partly cloudy weekend. In Houston, Texas, it is partly cloudy 89. And in Chicago, it is sunny 75 with a partly cloudy weekend. In New York City, partly cloudy 80 with a rainy weekend.
So, Chris, you're back. We all missed you.
I'm sure.
The people had to put up with me for 2 episodes, and I'm sorry to all the fans who had to deal with that, but good to have you back. Good to have this episode out. But I gotta ask because I haven't gotten the opportunity to do so lately. How's it been going?
It's going good. Believe it or not, Annie actually has been out of puppy school now for almost 6 months. And it feels like everything she learned in puppy school went in one big floppy ear, and now 6 months later just came out the other end.
Yeah.
Because she's chewing on shoes again, she's chewing on bedding, she's chewing on everything but she's supposed to be chewing on. And don't you worry, she has everything known to man that she needs. Like, she probably has more toys than I did when I was a child. So it's not that she doesn't have any toys, it's that she chooses not to chew on those toys.
Right. She chooses anything but the things that she's actually supposed to chew on.
And it's not like she's going to get plenty of attention because she gets at least 3 hours a day of ball. And it's like this dog never gets tired.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed, when we work off of recording, and, when we're doing other things behind the scenes, she never stops. It's funny because I remember when you first got her, you first brought her home, she pretty much slept all the time. She wasn't, all that crazy. Now, oh my God.
Yeah. When we first brought her home, I was used to be able to get her to sleep underneath my desk
Yeah.
while I was doing work. And then we would take breaks and go play ball. And then she would go back under my desk and either gnaw on her bone or sleep. She was a good puppy. Now she doesn't want to go under my desk for nothing. And she doesn't want to sleep for nothing. Every now and then you'll catch her snoozing on the couch, but that doesn't last longer than 10 minutes.
It's a miracle. It seems like she never sleeps.
Here's the thing. She loves playing ball, which is great because it gets a lot of her energy out. But the thing is, at lunch, I'll play for an hour with her.
Yeah.
Pretty much wow. Another thing, her farts stink. Pretty much the whole hour I get at lunch, I play with her. And she doesn't get exhausted. She just comes inside, gets a drink of water, and she starts terrorizing the house.
Yeah, no, she's all over the place always, and it's so funny. It's so funny to watch because, I've never met Annie in person. Now, I've confused her plenty of times through the phone, but I've never met her, and yet, it's just funny to watch her go from being this brand new puppy, new to the home, to all of a sudden just suddenly it's 6 months later or so, 6, 8 months later, and she's just constant out of control.
She's a terrorist to this house. The only time she's ever good is when she gets to go on CAR rides.
Eventually you gotta figure that calms down, but yeah.
I don't know if it will with her breed.
I guess you'll just have to wait and find out.
And a lot of people say just give the dog attention and they're good. This dog is actually tired. And you can't get her to settle down either.
Right. It's just, no, she just nonstop.
The only time I get her to settle down on my bed is at 6:30 in the morning. That's the time when she wants to be all cute and cuddly, and that's the time that I have to be well and up by them.
Yeah. But sounds like it's definitely been hectic for you. Honestly, it's been very, again, like it's been very relaxed. I took my first, I'd say, major test for the semester Wednesday, and it went surprisingly well. Now, for the class that I took it for, I would have much preferred a written exam or like a written test because it was business law. I much prefer written tests for business law. But, to my luck, it was multiple choice, but I still managed to do pretty well. Got a 90 on it, and it was, it was a good time. It was about an hour. It took me about an hour to complete. Um, so it was terrifying, guys. I can't explain. Back in high school, when it was like test day, I was fine. I obviously didn't like tests. Who does? But um, they were fine. The anxiety that comes from taking a college test, and I don't know why, but it's just so much worse.
I know what you mean. The first time I took one, I was nervous.
Like I've been taking little quizzes for things like business law, marketing, and history. So I've taken little quizzes, and even those cause a little pang. But no, this test was something different, and I'm just glad it's over.
After we're done here, I have a test to take. So,
Oh, fun! You'll do fine.
yeah, I mean, I'm just, yeah, that's a start. But anywho,
Anywho,
we got some news to get into, and starting right off with the debt ceiling issue. Tuesday, the House passed a bill to have the debt ceiling raised until December 3rd. The vote was 219 to 206. But the battle isn't over yet. December 3rd, we will have a government shutdown looming and a debt ceiling debate all over again. Republicans are saying they will not vote again to raise the debt ceiling.
jumping over to the topic of inflation. You are probably noticing the cost of groceries, cars, and delivery options. Prices have all gone up at this point, along with basically everything else. The president says that he is working on fixing it, and of course, we have a lot of factors included in these issues. Some of these include labor shortage, inflation, COVID-19 concerns both here and around the world, and we are also seeing a serious supply chain issue. And that is the issue that the president wants to address right now in his 3-part plan. It includes, first, turn the Port of Los Angeles into a 24/7 operation and keep the Port of Long Beach open. It has been open 24/7 since September, and 40% of our supply comes through one of those chains. Adding overnight operation, the administration hopes that it will speed up the unloading of those boats. Secured guarantee from International Longshore and Warehouse Union to staff that 24/7 operation. Adding the private sector to the mix. Walmart, UPS, FedEx, Samsung, Home Depot, and Target have all committed to expanding their round-the-clock operation to move these goods.
The issues at the ports represent only a part of the supply chain issue we are seeing. The U.S. is also facing a truck driver shortage, along with issues in other countries that have been due to COVID-19 with factories closing when there are outbreaks in factories.
If you're one of the 70 million Americans that receive Social Security benefits or SSI, you will be getting a pretty decent increase in your 2022 check. This is because the SSA announced on Wednesday recipients would receive a 5.9% cost of living increase for 2022. This translates to roughly $92, give or take, per month.
To put this into context, on average, a Social Security cost living increase is only 1.5% over the last 10 years. To now jump up 6% in 1 year is a pretty good jump. In fact, it is the biggest jump we've had in over 40 years. The Social Security Administration is required by 1973 law to adjust payment to beneficiary based on the cost of living and inflation. For everyone else that is currently on Social Security, this also means the maximum amount of earnings subject to Social Security tax will increase to $147,000. That is up from $142,800 in 2021. This also means there will be a bigger tax bill for about 12 million high salary workers.
If you are still waiting for the IRS to return the taxes you paid on your 2020 unemployment benefits, the IRS just this week said that yes, they are still issuing those refunds. They will go out as the IRS continues to process 2020 tax returns and recalculate returns that were already processed.
If you're confused about what I'm talking about, let us explain this. Because of the American Rescue Plan that passed earlier this year, the first 10,200 of your 2020 unemployment benefits was tax-free. And by the time Congress passed it, many of you have already paid your tax bill. This is causing the IRS to issue refunds on those taxes. Just so you are aware, no, you don't get back $10,400. You are getting the taxes you paid on the 10,200. Any amount after the 10,200, you need to pay the taxes on that money. To qualify for this tax benefit, you must have been on unemployment for 2020. You paid taxes on that benefit, and you had a modified adjusted gross income of less than $150,000. If all three of those things apply to you, your first $10,200 benefit was tax-free. But understand, even if you owed a refund and have some sort of outstanding state or federal tax bill or several other types of debts, this refund can be garnished from you.
Now, getting into some rapid news, the USPS has released the dates for when you need to have packages in the mail so that they arrive by Christmas. And for more information about that, Chris has an article out giving all the information there.
The FDA advisory panel met today and yesterday about possible booster shots and mixing and matching vaccines for boosters. More on that Monday morning.
And finally, the fourth child tax credit payment is coming out today, either $300 or $250. To opt out of the portal or make changes, make them by November 1st.
Now to get into Friday morning good news episode, the King of Good News has a good news story for us. What is that good news story, Matt?
All right, so for this morning's story, it's a pretty cool one, I gotta say. So there was a school in Texas, normally the seniors, they get to go on a trip to New York City, and they get to see anything they really want to see. And there was one senior who was particularly bummed that it got canceled because of COVID-19, and she had a lot of things she wanted to see. She wanted to see the Statue of Liberty. She wanted to go see Hamilton. She wanted to pass by the Rockefeller Center, all these different things, and she ended up having to miss out on that completely, like I said, due to the trip's cancellation. But she ended up getting to see it anyway, because what ended up happening is that Savannah Guthrie ended up helping to set up a trip for her and her mom to go to New York City. They got to see the Statue of Liberty. They got to meet a couple of the actors from the Hamilton show, as well as they got a personalized message from the creator of the Broadway show. And they got to meet Savannah Guthrie in person. They got to, go into the Rockefeller Center. They got to have this entire trip. And, it was just all set up out of pure like kindness and pure just wanting to do it for this graduated, former senior who missed out on the trip.
Right there is celebrities coming together. That is celebrities doing something for the common good. And it's always good when you hear good news stories like this. She got to go to New York City. She got to experience things that she wanted to experience. All around, just a good news story.
Yeah, this one is just really cool to see. We've had celebrity stories on here in the past, right? And I'll kind of say the same thing here that I do on a lot of those is that you see in the news all the time all these negative or just kind of iffy stories about celebrities and the things that happen and this negative press and all that. But this is one of those times where it's so wonderful to see it because she got to meet actually meet a couple of the actors from the Hamilton show, and it was her favorite people from the show. If anyone knows the Hamilton play, it was the Schuyler sisters, and they actually did a little personal performance of one of the songs for her. And so to have that entire experience, to have that whole trip set up for her, it's just absolutely special.
I agree with you 100% with that. That is the end of this Friday morning news episode. Make sure you follow us on BBP News for the latest 24-hour breaking news so you're always in the know. Follow us on our personal accounts to see what we're up to. Head over to Medium to check out what articles we've been writing about over there. And until Monday morning, have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.